Thank you, Mr. President. I rise today in support of the Marketplace Fairness Act in order to just level the playing field for small business retailers in Minnesota and across the country. I want to thank Senator Enzi for his years of work on this. He had a shoe sales place, retail. I want to thank Senator Durbin and Senator Heitkamp, Senator Alexander for introducing the legislation. This will simply allow states to help their brick-and-mortar retailers, including the mom and pop shops on Main Street, stay competitive in a marketplace where online sales have become just a fact of life. The amendment we've offered to the budget resolution today lays the groundwork for passing that legislation, a common sense measure that brings our sales tax into the 21st century. In Minnesota, the retail industry includes nearly 500,000 workers, about 1 in 5 jobs in our state, and those retailers need to compete on price and on service every single day, but the current sales tax system makes it impossible for them to repeat. Senator Cardin spoke of something that's very common around this country. I've heard this story, the same exact story. Someone comes in to a electronics store and wants to buy a big flat screen TV, and they get the guy who knows everything to come over and point out what's the best for their needs, for the size of their room, what the electronics are. A very skilled guy, the guy you hire who knows what he's doing. And he sells it, except he doesn't sell it for the customer gets on their smartphone and buys it online. The same exact model, gets the same exact price, except because he doesn't have to pay the sales tax, or she doesn't have to pay the sales tax when they're supposed to, by the way, but they don't. That's what happens. And so they save $100. And the brick-and-mortar store, which pays for police and pays for sewer and pays for schools and pays for everything that makes a society work, loses the sale and can't compete. And it just ain't fair. It's just not fair. So this is a common sense bill. Small businesses, we have an exemption. The exemption's written in. You can't say, well, just because you have an exemption, we're going to get rid of the exemption at some point. It's an exemption. That's part of the law, the bill we're proposing. So I'm proud to be on this. I'm proud of my colleagues from both sides of the aisle. The Marketplace Fairness Act is common sense. It's bipartisan. And I urge my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to support this amendment and their colleagues on both sides of the aisle. Thank you, and I yield the floor.